Someone once said that greed causes each new generation to waste a little more of the world. Take the Playa Vista developers, for example.
A few years ago, they drew up plans to cram about 12,000 condominiums, apartments, and million-dollar mansions, plus about 6 million square feet of office and commercial space onto the tiny Ballona Wetlands nestled between the airport and Marina del Rey on the west side of Los Angeles.
This development is so large it will overwhelm the entire area and violate the quality of life of everyone, from the movie star in Malibu to the banker in Beverly Hills and the ordinary citizen trying to get over the Sepulveda Pass to go to work.
This building consists of 225 condominiums. Imagine 50 of these monsters crammed onto this soggy little piece of tidal marsh. These twin-tower office buildings contain approximately 300,000 square feet of office space. Add about 20 of these plus an elementary school and film production complex, and you have some idea of the magnitude of this proposed development.
By the developer's own estimates, Playa Vista will increase the traffic on the 405 freeway by 1/3 and double it on Lincoln Boulevard.
The 405 is not only a major traffic artery. In this part of the city, it's the only artery, and it's already operating beyond its capacity.
Let's use our little map here to extrapolate what will happen if Playa Vista crams another 200,000 cars onto the 405 freeway every day. It'll create massive gridlock, which will spread like a virus through the entire area. It'll backflow onto the Harbor Freeway. It'll affect the beach cities to the south. It'll jam up the Santa Monica Freeway in both directions and back onto the Pacific Coast Highway. Malibu, Pacific Palisades, Brentwood, Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Culver City, they'll all be impacted. But Playa Vista is going to cost you a lot more than drive time.
This is one of the biggest gifts of public money to the private sector in the history of Los Angeles. We are being asked to financially leverage the Playa Vista project into existence with over $500 million in subsidies and tax-exempt bond issues. In contrast, we could buy back the land for 1/4 of this amount, and in the process, improve the quality of life in Los Angeles rather than diminish it.
If what you've heard so far isn't disturbing enough, here's a report by Patricia McPherson and Dr. Bernie Andrus about something that is even more alarming.
What we have here is an enormous gas seep. This is the largest gas seep over an oil field in the United States. It's like an open wound oozing to the surface.
We're over the Playa del Rey oil field. Southern California Gas Company uses this as an underground gas storage facility in which billions of cubic feet of gas are transported in from out of state, pumped down into the oil field under extremely high pressure. We also have large quantities of gas from the oil field itself. These gases mix together, and we have over 200 old abandoned wells that were drilled back in the 20s and the 30s that are causing this gas to migrate up to the surface, and it's coming up throughout the entire area.
And I live very close to where the gas company is storing the gas in the old oil fields out in this area. And on June 30th at approximately 8:30 p.m., we happened to notice that the fumes were so heavy, and heavy in the house as well as outside, that we could barely breathe.
And this, what you're seeing right now, is called a vibroflotation technique, which creates an earthquake-type effect. And what you're seeing is gases coming up through the ground here as a result of this action. And the activity of the earthquakes, actually, according to the Exploration Technology report, they state that earthquakes exacerbate the movement of gas through the ground up through this fault area. What we haven't had happen at this site is an oil field investigation. What they're doing is piecemealing and trying to segue away from the oil field issues, which is throughout this area, the Playa del Rey oil field, that needs to be studied in the most basic of oil field studies, and that hasn't been done. The kind of gases that we have coming to the surface here are the kind of gases that can give you birth defects. They can cause cancer. over long-term exposure. We have also hydrogen sulfide, which is one of the most corrosive gases known to mankind. That gas, from just the tiniest amounts, can cause brain damage to small growing children and sensitive adults.
And these gases are also highly explosive. They're the same type of gases that migrated up underneath the Ross department store in the Fairfax area in 1985 and caused the store to explode. We had 23 people that were seriously injured, some of them suffering very severe burn injuries.
They were among the countless people in the Ross clothing store when the explosion erupted at about 4:47, ripping the store apart, blowing out the front and portions of the roof, demolishing the inside, trapping countless shoppers and employees.
We also have the same type of gases migrating up underneath the Belmont High School site, which after spending $200 million, this site had to be abandoned because they were not able to come up with a solution for how to keep the gases from migrating into the building.
So how the city and the developer are handling this is, right now they're putting in a membrane that's supposed to prevent the gases from coming to the surface. And what we know about this membrane is that it has an 85% failure rate. Some of the membranes that they're planning on using have a 2-year warranty. These membranes have to last the lifetime of this project. The pilings that you see in the background, we know those pilings will move during an earthquake. They go down into the ground. What will that do to the membrane? Most likely tear it, rip it. There's no guarantee that this city can give you at this point at all that this site will be made safe. A site like this has never been mitigated anywhere in the United States with the complexity of problems that this site has.
A major reason why the Belmont site was abandoned because of the recognition that there would be enormous liability, hundreds of millions of dollars of damages that could flow as a result of moving children in over this very dangerous gas situation. Out here, both the developer as well as the city of Los Angeles has known for a long time of the extreme dangers of all of this migrating gas moving up underneath the building site. As a result, both the city as well as the state could be faced with hundreds of millions of dollars of liability if people were to become injured as a result of going forward with this development.
With all that we now know about the gas and other problems at the Playa Vista site, the only sane course of action is to stop all development and return the land to the public.
Once we return Ballona to the public trust, there's a number of sources of funding to restore it to its natural state. For example, there's a Land and Water Conservation Fund. That has $540 million in it. The National Estuary Act has $215 million in it over the next 5 years. And locally, the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles have millions of dollars in mitigation funds that could be put towards the restoration of Ballona.
Most people have no idea the impact Playa Vista will have on us because the local media is not reporting it. We have to change that. And we have to let our local politicians know that we don't want Playa Vista to happen to us.
It's not too late to stop the Playa Vista development, but we need your help. We need you and your friends and neighbors to contact our local politicians and tell them that we don't want Playa Vista's gridlock or their toxic gas liability problems. And we certainly don't want our tax money being used so a small group of developers can reap their profits and then walk away, leaving a mess for the rest of us to clean up. Visit us at www.saveballona.org, where you'll find all the information you need to help add your voice to our cause, or call us at 310-636-3506 to receive an action pack.